Hello and welcome back. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it, since we last played Hakuoki. Yeah, I just wanted to pick this one back up again and just to finish it up, at least this route, and maybe do one or two more that I had my eye on, but we'll see. As the dust cleared, following the Hamaguri rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Choshu domain were declared enemies of the court. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate sent to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Kondo was asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over the domains, whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, the word the shogun Imochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in a surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October 1866. The pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. Things are not looking good for our friends. That day, I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. It sure has been hot lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to this humid heat. I always wondered, even in midsummer, Saito always wore his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto. Okay, that's good to hear. Oh? Alright. I'm just worried. He gave me a short nod of confirmation, then stepped into the shop with his men.
Shinsengumi 先日、浪人風の男が出入りしていたという噂を耳にした。詮議させてもらう。
I've been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. Oh, God. Oh, this doesn't look good. This really doesn't look good. A number of rather unpleasant-looking ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they consider themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they look the sort who'd only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill.
Ora! 邪魔だって言ってんだろ!
The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. What should I do? Honestly, I'd say stop the guy. If he's being like that, honestly, heck with him. It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I was about to stop the Ronin... Oh, hello. Who are you? I don't think I've met you yet, have I? I don't think so. Again, granted, it's been a while since I've been here, so...
Huh? なんだてめえは。たかが女が俺たち勤王の志士に意見するってのか。
そのたかが女に意見されることをみっともないと思いなさいよ。
Oh, let him have it.
今日の人がどれだけ迷惑してるのかわからないの？
乗れ。
The man's obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Wait! When I'd come to my senses, I noticed that I had instinctively taken action. I positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her.
なんだお前は。その女の知り合いか。
No, I don't.
知り合いじゃねえんならすっ込んでろ。
Flex's spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? A samurai would protect common people, not attack them.
なんだと。
そうだそうだ、いいぞお兄ちゃん。獅子気取りの不定老師め、今日からさっさと出ていけ。
Something about my speech must have struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness.
くっそ。バカにしやがって。
With the rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from its scabbard. Ah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I tried to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Huh? Saito! Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes.
安心しろ。峰内だ。
Oh, Saito, you saved me, thank goodness. Saito!
そいつを屯所に連れて行け。長州の残党かもしれん。
はい。
Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me.
何故俺を呼ばなかった。
While you were busy...
万が一のことがあったらどうするつもりだったのだ。
Well, I can't get hurt. I'll be fine. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured?
怪我なんてしないわよ。まったくもう無茶しちゃって。
So my good deed went punished. A scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought of my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if she's suddenly remembering something very important.
あ、でも私あなたに助けてもらったのよね。まだお礼を言ってなかったわ。ありがとう。
Oh, well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest.
別に謙遜なんてしなくていいのに、見て見ぬふりをするよりはずっと立派だったんだから。これも何かの縁だし、女の子同士仲良くしましょうね。
Wait, you know I'm a girl? Cause I think I'm still dressed up as a boy, right? Yeah. What? Saito glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place.
見る者が見ればわかることだ。動揺するな。
あら、もしかして内緒だったの？
Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
あ、ところでまだお名前を聞いてなかったわね。これも何かの縁ですもの。教えてくれるかしら。
Well, this is...
そちらの方は斉藤さんよね。新選組は有名だもの。知ってる？で、あなたの名前は？
Oops, sorry. My name is Chiziru Yakimura. It's nice to meet you.
雪村。
Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised, and she stared intently at me.
あなた雪村って姓なの？生まれは東国？
Think so? Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I came to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her, and she laughed and looked up.
ごめんなさい、なんでもないの。知り合いと同じ姓だったから。雪村ってすごく綺麗な名字ね。
You think so? Thank you.
よろしくね。私のことはセンって呼んで。
Sen. Ms. Sen? Nice to meet you.
なんか水臭いわね。見たところ同い年ぐらいだし、そんなにかしこまらなくていいわよ。
Okay, so no miss, just Sen. Okay. So just Sen then?
まあいいわ。じゃあまた会いましょうね。
She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood, stunned for a moment or two. Saito was eyeing Sen walking off, and eventually he turned to me.
あの娘、あんたの姓が気にかかっている様子だったが。
I know, huh? She did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. It seemed like Saito was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought.
予定からだいぶ遅れてしまった。そろそろ行くことにするか。
Oh, yes. So we continued on our rounds, trying to withstand the scorching heat. Ugh. The heat wave ended up lasting several days. On one such day,
雪村先輩、お茶はこんな感じでいいんでしょうか？
oh, it might be better to make them lukewarm. It's still quite hot today, you know?
なるほど。さすがです。
This young man is Kazuo Soma. He joined the Shinsengumi just before summer began. He's very serious and respectful. Kondo supposedly met him when he was in Choshu for the envoy, and he invited Soma to join us. Now, he currently works as Kondo's page. I guess he grew fond of the Shinsengumi, and he was focused on learning all that it takes to become a successful warrior.
じゃあ水で薄めりゃいいんじゃないか？
But if you do that, then the tea's flavor will become lighter.
そうか。なあ、相馬、どうすりゃいいんだ？
井戸水で冷やしてみるのはどうだ？
おお、そいつはいいな。やってみようぜ。
This energetic lad is Risaburo Nomura. He joined the Shinsengumi around the same time as Soma, and because of their closeness in age, Nomura became Kondo's page in training. For him, he was a huge fan of the Shinsengumi, and he joined them because of it. That left me to make sure that I teach them about all the duties and responsibilities that go into becoming a page, which was harder than I thought. The tea doesn't have to be room temperature, just a little cooler to offset the hot weather. So, first, prepare some warm water rather than boiling hot, then try brewing it. That way, it doesn't dilute the tea's flavor.
おお、すげえ。なるほどな。先輩小姓は伊達じゃないぜ。
本当に勉強になります。
Thanks. Well, for the tea, I'll pour some and take it to them so you too.
俺たちは何ですか？何でもやりますよ。
Oh, these two are very eager beavers.
ええ、何でも言ってください。
よーし、お前らは今から俺と剣術稽古だ。
Thank you, Nakagura. Nagakura. Oh, jeez. I'm butchering names left, right, and center. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
どうした？やりたくないのか？
I don't think they want to train with you, but Nagakura.
はい、お願いします。
いやー、俺はちょっと仕事が。
おいおい、新人が遠慮なんかするなよ。
野村、諦めろ。これも立派な大使になるための試練だ。
試練っていうか、あれはしごきだろ。
Oh geez, that'd be bad.
そんじゃちょっくら二人を借りていくぜ。
Thank you. Okay, please take care of them. Soma gulped deeply as he looked nervous. Nomura, on the other hand, looked ready to cry as Nakakura dragged them both off to training. I wish the two of them the best of luck. Here's some parched barley tea, Kondo. Supposedly, it lowers the body's temperature.
ありがとう。雪村君の入れてくれたお茶は飲みやすくてちょうどいいな。
Thank you. He was deep in thought, arms crossed and stern. Things were bad since Lord Imochi's death. Kondo especially was having a difficult time. Perhaps it was best if I simply left him alone. I turned and had already begun to walk away when he spoke.
今、掃除を松本先生に見せてるんだ。
Oh. Did he know about Okita's illness? What did he say?
まだなんとも。重病でなければいいのだが。
That leads me to believe that he doesn't know.
もし掃除の身に何かあったら、あの人に申し訳が立たんからな。
Her?
今日に来る前、掃除の姉のミツさんからくれぐれもよろしく頼むと言われていてな。
Oh, older sister. Okay. Oh, Okita has an older sister?
ああ、両親を早くに亡くしているから、ミツさんが親代わりとなって掃除を育てたんだよ。
Ah, I see. Okita seems to have been through a lot.
まあ、あいつは素直で前向きだからな。苦労したとは思っていないだろうが。
あの根性曲がりを相手にそんなことを言えるのは日の本博士といえどあんたぐらいだと思うぜ。
Oh, Hichikata.
お、トシ、どうしたんだ。一緒に麦湯でも飲むか。
いや、麦湯は別にいらねえが、三条大橋に建てられてる生殺のことを知ってるか。
Notice board.
ああ、知っているとも。長州の罪状を記した札のことだろう。
Oh,
ああ、あの生殺を引き抜いて鴨川に捨てたバカがいるらしい。
oh, they're trying to say that, that they don't really care for, they just want to get rid of that notice. Okay.
無論その話は聞いている。だがその生殺は後日立て直されたんじゃなかったのか。
そいつがまた引き抜かれちまったそうだ。そろそろ俺たちに声がかかるんじゃない
Somebody's really upset.
以前札が引き抜かれたのは確かであれば三男君の羅刹体を使ったらどうだ。
羅刹体か。
何か引っかかることでもあるのか。
あいつらは確かによく働いてくれるがやりすぎなんだよ。どんな役目につけても関わったものを全て皆殺しにしてきちまう。
Oh, because of bloodlust and everything, right?
しかもそれだけじゃ飽き足らねえ。元の形をとどめねえくらい死体をバラバラに切り刻んだりしやがる。
Oh, they gotta find a definitely better way to control those then.
新選組の仕業だと気づかれねえようにするためとはいえ、新選組は人殺し集団じゃねえ。死体で遊ぶのはやめろといくらいさめても治らね
Will they listen to Sana?
え。あれじゃ辻切り連中と変わらねえ。
I felt a shiver snake down my spine as he spoke. Even after a year, I remembered that with terrifying clarity as to what I'd seen when I first arrived in Kyoto, the Furies. They behaved as if possessed by evil spirits, their swords mercilessly hacking away at dead men. It hadn't been hatred or fear that drove them, but some sort of twisted amusement. I didn't think I'd ever forget the half-mad smiles each had worn.
ま、いくつか手を考えてみるか。
そうだな。細かいことは都市に任せるよ。ところで この間聞いたところによると、将軍後見職の一橋慶喜公がだな。
あの人か。家康公の再来なんて言われてるそうだな。確かに頭はいいのかもしれねえが。
Oh, more politics talk. Before long, they started to discuss politics I didn't understand, and I politely excused myself. Yeah, politics sometimes bore me too. Never been one to go into much sort of discussions like that. I thought back on what Hijikata said. It was true Sennen had been acting strange, and the Fury Corps has been getting more and more violent. There was a lot on my mind, but what worried me most was, honestly, I'd say the Furies, because they still scared the living daylights out of me. Just as Hijikata had predicted, the Shinsengumi received an official request to guard the notice board at Sanjo Ohashi Bridge. As it turned out, the Vandals were 8 men from the Tosa domain. Harada and his division were well prepared and captured them when they attacked at the Kamo River. Harada was given a reward by the Aizu for his service, and he took the rest of the captains to Shimabara to celebrate. I remained at the temple to eat my dinner alone, but my heart felt like a lead weight in my chest, and it chased away any appetite I might have had. What's going to happen with Shinsengumi and the Fury Corps? As if on cue, the door slid open and Sennen stepped through. Oh, he worries me. Oh, hello, Sennen. Can I help you?
こんばんは。今日は港島原へ出かけなかったのですか?
No, I didn't. Now that you're here in this room, I'm wishing I had gone. Yes, I'm not that great with drinking parties, so...
なるほど。
Sennen nodded in understanding, and his eyes beamed with color as he gazed at me. The cold, full moon was visible, and maybe it was because of the nighttime, but Sennen's eyes possessed a tint of danger. Sennen?
君はどう思っていますか? 例の薬。
Oh, back to the topic of water of life. He's way too fascinated about it. I know the reason why he is, because, well, he has to take it and everything, but really, I don't really agree with the use of it. What do you mean?
あの薬は素晴らしいと、そう思いませんか?
Well, sure, but at the cost of people's minds, right? They go mad.
私が左腕を負傷し、薬を飲むことになったのも、すべてはこの薬をさらに完璧なものへと改良せしめるためだった。そう思えてならないのです。
Sannen's words slithered creepily, and I couldn't bring myself to stop staring at the floor to hide from his line of sight. His expression was so unfamiliar and nefarious, almost as if he was being possessed by something.
どうしたのです? 私の言葉を肯定してくれないのですか?
Because you scare me. I don't like you. You frighten me so much.
あの素晴らしい薬をこの新選組に持ち込んだ光道さんの娘の君が。
It was obvious that Sennen was not acting as his usual self.
なぜ何も言わないのです?
Because again, you're scaring me.
もしや君も松本先生と同じように薬の実験をやめさせようなどと思っているのではないでしょうね。
Wow, that's a loaded statement. That's very much a threat. I'm worried. I just remembered I have some chores that need doing, so I'll be... Just as I was on my way out...
待ちなさい。
Huh? He roughly grabbed on my wrist and yanked me. Sir, let go! Ah! I pulled against his grip, but he was far too strong for me to overcome. Oh, jeez. Please stop. The horrible twitching madness in his eyes was too much for me, and I screamed.
女の子の手首を掴んで
Oh, thank God.
何してるんですか、三男さん。
Oh, thank you. At least it's not just one of you. There's 3 of you here. Please rescue me from this Sanin. He's lost it.
彼女怖がってるみたいですよ。
Very terrified. Let me go.
意見を求めていただけですよ。少々熱が入りすぎましたが。
On the other side of his glasses, Sanin's eyes returned to normal. The glint of madness was gone. While I felt relieved, Sanin had walked off as the others were walking in. As I watched him walk off, I looked back at Okita and the men. It's good to see you back. You're a little earlier than I expected, though. I was expecting you guys to come way later.
佐野さんと新八さんは朝まで帰ってこねえと思
Yeah,
う
that's
ぜ
true.
さすがに俺は体力が持たなさそうなんで途中で抜けてきたけどさ。
It's only the 3 of you then?
へへへ。
What's the matter?
土方さんは住谷にいた君菊って芸妓さんに気に入られたみたいだぜ。宴会の最中ずっと隣にくっつかれてたから
Oh, you met a lady
な。
friend. Kimigiku?
ああ、すっげえ綺麗な人だったぜ。
そんなに綺麗だったっけ。
綺麗だったって。つうかあんな高そうな人呼んじまった佐野さんの懐が心配だよ。
そう、僕女の人の良し悪しってよく
Wow.
わからないな。
One of Kyoto's Geki, huh? She's probably just as beautiful as Hesuke said. They must have made a beautiful couple. I gazed down at myself, small, plain, and dressed like a boy. Suddenly, I felt very sad.
どうかしたのか。暗い顔をしているようだが。
I want to look pretty too. Oh no, it's nothing. Come on, it's more than nothing. I want to look pretty too.
疲れているようだな。そろそろ我々は出た方が良さそうだ。
Hopefully it's safe and Sana won't come by for another midnight visit.
それではな、雪村。
I will, thank you. Saito must have been looking out for me. As Hesuke began to leave my room, something brought him to an abrupt halt, and he turned to me.
まあ、三男さんの様子、近頃ますますおかしくなって
You think? Yes. The two were silent, restrained by mixed emotions. Eventually, they both left the room. Even the captains who were with the Shinsengumi since Ito were beginning to grow suspicious of Sanan. I wonder what's going to happen from now on. After that, the rest of the warriors who'd gone to Shimabara returned, and they told me in great detail about the Sanjo notice board incident, but out of everything I heard, there was one thing in particular that caught my attention. They told me that when Harada and his men had been attacked by Senjo Ohashi, one of them had seen someone who looked a lot like me. This strange person had tried to impede the Shinsengumi and sided with the vandals from the Tosa domain. I haven't left the temple, of course, and even if I had been at Senjo Ohashi, I never would have tried to get in the Shinsengumi's way. But if it wasn't me, then who? What could it mean? The news only fed the anxiety that had been slowly building within me. So, I've got a doppelganger. Great! Fantastic. December 1866. I was sweeping a section of the compounds despite being nearly frozen to the bone. Well, that should do it. I wanted to help out as much as I could, but since they still refused to let me out without an escort, there wasn't a great deal I could do. Still, I helped clean our home, and that felt good. Hopefully they'd like it too.
おお、境内を掃除してくれていたのか。助かるな。
Oh, hello, Kondo. It's really gotten cold lately, hasn't it?
今日に来てからずいぶん経つが、この寒さにはどうもなれんな。
He rubbed his hands together and blew on them in a mostly vain attempt to warm them up. I've picked up a bunch of dead leaves, so I was thinking about roasting potatoes later. Would you like some? They'll warm you up. Kondo gave me a little wry smile.
焼き芋か。昔はよくやったもんな。
Oh! I flushed with embarrassment. Kondo was a busy man, as management of the Shinsengumi was not easy. A man like that didn't have time for roasting potatoes. You've been really busy lately. I hope you're taking care of yourself.
まあ、こういう時代だからな。忙しいってことは、それだけ新選組が頼りにされてるってことだ。名誉なことさ。
True. In the last several weeks, Kondo and Hijikata had left the temple often to go meet with important shogunate officials. They scarcely had time to breathe, let alone relax. At that moment, almost as if my thoughts summoned him, Hijikata appeared.
お、近藤さん、こんなところに。
おお、トシ、どこに行ってたんだ。探したぞ。次の将軍がだな。家持将軍の後見人だった一橋慶喜公に決まったようだ。
やっぱりあの人に決まったか。他にやる人なんざいねえんだから、もったいぶらずにさっさと引き受けりゃいいのによ。
トシ、将軍公になられた方に向かってその言い方はないだろう。
More politics.
あの方は東照神君家康公の再来と呼ばれるほど英明な方なんだぞ。
まあいい。将軍が誰になろうが、俺たちはその将軍の下で戦うだけだ。
It seems like Kondo cares more for politics rather than Hijikata does.
そうだな。俺たちが頑張れば、それだけ将軍公も徳川幕府も安泰ってわけだ。
Only 20 days after Lord Yoshinobu had officially been inaugurated as new shogun, the emperor suddenly passed away. It's especially hard on the emperor's younger sister, Kazunomiya, who had been married to Lord Imochi and was intended to be a symbol of the imperial unification, but everyone on both sides was shocked by his death. He was succeeded by the imperial prince, a young boy of only 15 years. In the turmoil, the activities of Choshu domain went uninvestigated. The entire country of Japan found itself thrust into rapid motion. Lots of chaos everywhere. March 1867. March 1867. With the beginning of the new year came the end of Kyoto's harsh, freezing winter. A bright sun shone in the sky, and for the first time in a long while, I felt the warmth of its rays. There is no question, it was a beautiful afternoon.
おお、雪村君、今日はいい天気だな。
Yeah, there you are. I hurried over toward him. Oh, hello, Inoue. Are you here with Kondo?
ああ、ちょっと境内をぐるりと散歩してきたのさ。
本当は外に出たいんだが、勝手に豚舎を離れてしまっては、トシが怒るだろうからな。
Oh, you guys can't leave without permission either? Oh, wow. You're probably right. You sounded so adorable when you said it like that, and I couldn't help but laugh.
おう、ところで雪村君はどうして境内にいるんだ？
掃除か何かをしているようには見えないんだが。
Right. Hijikata sent me to find you, Kondo.
なんと手間をかけたな。トシは何か言っていたか？俺にどんな用があるだとか。
Oh, no, he didn't. I shook my head, and Kondo frowned slightly in thought.
まさか掃除のことじゃないだろうが。
My heart jumped.
掃除のこと？何かやらかしたのかい？
そうじゃないんだが、 最近調子が悪いだろう。風邪も長引いているようだし、トシが気にしているらしくてな。
ははトシさんは心配性なところがあるからな。
I didn't feel right in trying to assert myself in the conversation, so I kept my mouth shut and listened. Okita didn't have a cold. He had tuberculosis. How many people even knew the truth? Was I really the only person his confidence, however accidental?
まあ、とにかく行ってみるか。伝えてくれてありがとう、雪村君。
Oh, I guess I'll be going back to my room.
ご苦労様、雪村君。
I bowed to both of them, turned around, and headed back. Oh gosh, am I going to be able to keep this secret from everyone? I wonder. My mind was a whirlwind of thoughts as I made my way to my room. Then, out of nowhere...
あれこんなところでどうしたの
the person that I wasn't really expecting to see, but I'll see anyway. Huh? My head snapped up at the sound of his voice. I spun around and found him sitting on the steps, looking at me. But there was something that caught my attention. What caught my attention? Oh! His hair's down! That's an odd look for him.
どうかしたの僕がここにいると意外
Yeah. Are you watching me to make sure I don't say anything?
そんな顔されると心外かな僕がお化けか何かみたいだし
Do you have to say it like that? You. He tilted his head back and laughed, his hair blowing softly in the breeze. It was a very different sort of look for him, which was enough to imbalance me, but it was also quite clear he'd just come from a bath. Why are you outside dressed like that? And your hair is wet.
今日は珍しく暖かいし日向ぼっこも悪くないよ
But aren't you still sick?
うんおかげさまで熱はちゃんと下がったみたい
That doesn't mean that it's okay for you to...
寝てる間に汗かいちゃったしさっき一風呂浴びてきたんだそしたら涼みたくなってここに腰を落ち着けたところ
I don't care how nice the weather is. It's still March. You're going to give yourself another cold.
ねえ君って意外と口うるさくてしかも変に心配性で土方さんみたいだね
Don't compare me to him. I wasn't quite too sure what to say to that. Although I was beginning to understand how Hijikata likely felt. What are you doing? He looked up, already halfway tying back his still damp hair. You still have to dry your hair, or your head's going to get a cold. I grabbed his towel and began to scrub his head.
ねえ強引って言われない
Well, I don't think I am. I'm probably pushy because I'm dealing with you.
君ってこんな子だっけもっとおとなしかった気がするんだけど
I ground my teeth. He knew he was sick, but he wasn't taking care of himself at all.
もういいよほとんど乾いたみたいだし
Hey! He ducked out from under my hands and quickly tied his hair up. I stared at him, at a loss for words. He frowned a little and turned away.
いきなり黙り込まれたら反応に困るんだけどまだ文句が言い足りないそれとも僕に用でもある
No, that's not... I meant... You're really good with your hands. I was thinking that you're pretty good with your hands. You tied up your hair so quickly.
別に器用でもないと思うよただ慣れてるだけじゃないかなこの髪型に結い上げるのだってな
He stopped mid-sentence and stood and turned to stare at me. What's wrong?
ちょっといい一つ質問したいんだけど
Oh?
うん別に深い意味はないから気楽に答えてくれて大丈夫
Oh, thank God, because I can't really stand a lot of really deep questions right now.
あのさ僕の髪型どう思う
What? It was the last thing I could ever imagine hearing from Okita, or any of the captains for that matter. But he looked entirely serious, so I did my best to answer him honestly. I think it looks good. I don't know how quite to explain it, but it's very... you. Oh, apparently that was the right answer.
そっか。よかった。ありがとう。
No problem. I felt myself blush at his smile. Just calling it like I see it. I don't think you really need to thank me for that.
でも嬉しかったからお礼を言いたくなったんだよ。お礼ついでに僕の秘密も教えてあげちゃおうかな。
Oh gosh, is it not another secret that I have to keep, otherwise you're gonna kill me? Oh?
僕の髪型って近藤さんの真似してるんだ。
Oh. Yeah. I see it, I think. He looks somewhere halfway between proud and embarrassed. Yeah? I didn't really realize it before, but it does look like his.
他の人には言わないでよ。絶対からかわれるだろうし。
Nah. Okay, sure. I wasn't used to seeing Okita so relaxed and easygoing. Perhaps he wasn't as cruel as I originally thought. The nervous feeling in my stomach that he usually caused was nowhere to be found. I'm sorry to bother you like that. For bothering you like that. I'll just go back to my room. I spun around and walked away as quickly as I could. I climbed the stairs and was on my way down the hallway when... Oh, hello. Weren't we just talking a minute ago? I turned around to see him walking down the hall. He looked around furtively to see if anyone else was within earshot, then leaned in.
君、僕の体のこと、誰にも言ってないみたいだね。
No. I kept it to myself because you said if I told anybody else, you'd kill me. So I like living. Yes, of course, I promised.
君が意外にも律儀な子だから、ちょっとびっくりしたよ。
I'd like to think so.
僕に義理立てする必要なんてどこにもないのに。
He looked almost sad. I didn't keep my promise because I felt like I owed you. I looked at him straight in the eyes as I said that. I mean, if I tell anyone, you'll kill me, right? I don't want to die, so I'll never tell anyone. Your secret's safe. Oh gosh, I'm realizing something. The talk about I don't want to die, I want to live. It's similar thoughts from this game to Oz Mafia and the main heroine. Oh jeez, I just realizing that. Wow. His eyes narrowed, and for a few moments he just looked at me.
そういう約束だったね。余計なことを言ってみんなを混乱させたら殺すからって。
Yeah, because you're always threatening to kill me. I really don't like that.
じゃあ、君が死にたくないなら、秘密は秘密のままに。
Stop rubbing that in my face. I know, I will, but... I chose my words carefully. I know you're not doing this to be stubborn, but if you want to do things you want to do, you have to take care of yourself. Please.
さっきから気になってたんだけど、どうして君が僕を心配するの？
To be honest, I'm not really sure. There was no avoiding that he was a frightening man and indeed often a cruel one as well. But I still found myself wanting desperately for him to live. I couldn't tell if it was just pity or something else.
よくわからない子だな。君って本当に。
Suddenly, his voice seemed to choke itself off, and he hunched forward. Oh. Okita! His body shook with each cough, and I ran towards him. But he shoved my hands away. Huh?
勝手に触らないでくれる。僕は別に大丈夫なんだから。
What? He turned away and stalked off down the hallway. It was easy to forget that the disease was even now eating away at Okita's body. He was, in all appearances, in fine health. That easy ignorance, however, was what made reminders of his condition all the more painful. I felt my hands tighten into fists as I stood there in the hallway, alone and helpless. And we are going to move along with chapter 4 next time. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!